Gate 14 podcast, and oh no, they let the Toronto Blue Jays get hot. They let the Toronto Blue Jays get hot. I'm joined by the boys as always, JR, Avery. JR, how's it going, man? How you feeling after that big dub today by the Bluebirds?
It was good. It was if we lost 1-0 today, I was saying it would have been
The streets would have
probably
been
would have been the end of the year. Like we would have boycotted this episode, probably wouldn't even have showed up. But I mean, it's still not good, but it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, you're right. Avery, how you feeling, man? You had a Baltimore money line today, I believe, correct? So
No, I did not have that. I had Ross Stripling over strikeouts. So yeah, he was fucking electric today. But if we lost 5 straight to the Orioles and we had to play them 11 more times, it would have been time to off myself, I think. But
it would have been
season-saving win. Some people are saying
that see Ross saved the season is what the episode name has to be. And we got to talk about Ross, man. I mean, I'm going to say it. Ross Stripling is right now through the whole season the best pitcher on this team. The most consistently best pitcher on this team, has had no blow-ups, none. Look at his stats. His ERA is sub 3 now. And the only reason why I was so high was because he was playing that long reliever weird role. He's been dynamite. Avery, I don't know if you can search this, Avery. What's his stats as a starter? Because as a starter, he has been I don't remember any Ross Stripling blow-ups this year. Is that crazy to say, JR?
No, it just depends on, like, he's definitely stats wise. I mean, like ERA wise, like, yeah, he's been the best. But what's Manoah's ERA at now? Do you know what?
I might just have some recency bias because Manoah has been not ideal his last 2 appearances against the Orioles.
It's like obviously Manoah's logged way more innings than Stripling. It's more about that volume play, and obviously Stripling wasn't a starter for the entire year, so it's tough to compare him really. But he's been so good. Like, I mean, you put him in our, like, that's the thing. It's like come playoff, I mean, it's tough to even talk about playoff time anymore. But
it's
before we mention it like so like casual and
I think we mushed it. I really do.
Because like Stripling would be starting. Like, I know we talked about him coming out of the pen. But, he's starting over Barrios.
I pulled it up in half a second. Avery, you got it?
Yeah, I have it too. So as a reliever, he's thrown 11 innings, 4.09 ERA. I get it, ERA is not everything. But that's what we have stats here. And then a starter is 71 innings and a 3.01 ERA. It's probably not updated from today either, because Fangraphs
it's 7-8. So I'll fucking put my balls on the table. I have the updated stats. So Ross Stripling as a starter this year, Avery just gave the reliever stats updated. The starting stats, he's 4-3 with a 2.77 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, 229 opponent average. I mean, this guy has made the legit argument to be the Blue Jays' number 2 guy. Kevin Gausman has been all year, and Ross Stripling just stays consistent, little 2.77 ERA. He does what he has to do, hand off the game to the bullpen in a good spot. That's what Ross Stripling's been doing, and he's been fucking unbelievable, dude. Like, today was he was dialed. Like, today was the best I've ever seen him. No hitter going into the 6th. Then idiot fuck Mike Wilner decides to mush it with the perfect game tweet, which was sent to us, by the way, because we don't see it because we're blocked. But it's just Ross Stripling is like old reliable. He's that girl you text at 2 a.m. in college. That's just, you can come over.
She's there. Yeah, she's there. It's not pretty, but
though.
Yeah.
Here's my issue though. Like, at the start of the year, like, most of his starts was twice around the order and get out. Like,
yeah.
And come playoff time, like, that's not what we especially with our bullpen, that's not what we need. Right? Like, Gausman and Manoah are throwing over him 100%.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you guys think? Like,
I think he's the number 3 though. I think he's the number 3.
Yeah,
in
I think he's the number 3.
And then you piggyback Barrios after him, like they used to do with. I think they did it with R.A. Dickey. Like, R.A. Dickey would piggyback with a starter when the Jays were in the playoffs that year. I think he never started a game. He was come out of the bullpen. But man, Ross Stripling, it's like, dude, if the this was in my opinion, this was maybe the biggest win of the year. Like a win that you had to get, because if you lose, the Twitter is blowing up. Mike Wilner is just on pace to hit 4,000 blocks on Twitter. Twitter's a bad place if the Jays lose today. And I'll be honest with you, I'd be severely depressed. Like this podcast would be this podcast would have a whole different change of tone, right?
Yep. That's for sure. I texted you guys. It's crazy how my mood kind of changes based on how many runs we score in a game, because the past 2 nights was legitimate me thinking to myself, what a waste of time it is to sit down for 3 hours and we'll just watch this team. Like, I have a couple monitors and I had to put them on like the second monitors. Like, I can't do this. Like I had to enjoy myself, or else I wanted to like end my life because it was that bad. And it just doesn't even make sense to me because of the numbers of how good this team actually is. Like, if we look overall, I mean, this is a top 5 offense. And
easily.
And over the past month, we've scored like 3 runs a game where we're like middle of the pack and run scored. And it's not even at the bottom too. It's like, imagine cheering for the Pirates or something, man. How much you want to fucking
and
kill
we
yourself?
were getting a lot of that in the TikTok comments. And obviously I made that. Let's talk about it. All right. I made that video just based off of immediate reaction time, and Johnny Page views did what he did, unfortunately. And I made the video. I said this team can't hit. And I had tons of people to comment, what do you mean this is the fucking 5th best offense in baseball? Shut the fuck up. The Toronto Blue Jays scored 2 runs yesterday, 3 the day before, and 3 in the entire fucking series against the Guardians. For me to say that they couldn't hit, was that a crazy thing to say? Maybe you guys can keep me sane. Was that a crazy thing to say they couldn't hit? The offense was impossible to watch until the 7th inning today.
No, it's completely fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair because that's actually what happened. Like, if you're tuned in every game, you saw those every time. It's like we have literally no chance. Like, we went to the 9th down a couple runs. It's like there was not a single chance in hell that we are coming away from this with a win. Like, down 2 going into the 9th, they had no chance. So yeah, you're right. It's just they couldn't hit.
Can I say something? Can Ryan Mountcastle fuck off? Like, can that dude just go fuck himself? What he does against the Blue Jays, he is prime time Barry Bonds when he steps foot in the Rogers Center. And you know what I didn't know about him was he hit his first career home run against the Jays. So it goes to show you like the comfortability of playing against the team and just seeing their colors. He is disgusting against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's nightmare fuel.
He has like 15 home runs against them, and he's been in the league for 2 years, right? 3 years. That's another thing you can't really explain why someone's just good against her. He does have 5 home runs off Kikuchi this year, I think.
Well, yeah, that doesn't count. That should
3.
actually negative your home runs, right?
Yeah, it's the Make-A-Wish fucking at bat every time.
We got to go into that talking about Kikuchi. What do you guys think's happening here?
I don't know when you pitch him. Like, look at this week, right? This week, the Jays are obviously facing the Yankees in a 4-game series. Kikuchi's gonna have to throw, and he's gonna have to throw potentially a high leverage situation. Like, could you imagine Jays are up 3-1, 4-1, like a pretty decent lead, but it's not like comfortable enough where it's like, all right, like we could throw Kikuchi here, and this fucking guy is. I can just picture him running out of the bullpen and just the overwhelming amount of uncomfortable of how uncomfortable the fans are going to be just watching him at Yankee Stadium running out of the bullpen is something that you just can't mimic. It gives me Trent Thornton vibes, but worse. Like, if Trent Thornton had no idea where at least Trent Thornton can kind of locate what the fuck he's doing. Kikuchi has no clue. So Are you guys happy with him being moved to the bullpen? Or are you like, he's still going to be on a mound in a Blue Jays uniform? Where do you guys stand with that?
Yeah, happy is probably the wrong word.
Who's next? Right? Like, who's next? Who's gonna be in the rotation?
Mitch White is.
Mitch White, like he's that guy.
Mitch
now.
White wasn't he already in the rotation?
Yeah, but Stripling's back. So
yeah, Stripling's back, so
okay.
you pick out. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. White deserves a spot. And plus we have no lefties barely any lefties in the pen. So I I understand the move. It makes sense. But I tell you, his first time out of the pen, man, like
What if he just
pressure's
goes
good.
3 punchies? Like he just turns into fucking.
He's just
He just
nasty
turns
in the
into prime.
He's just pumping like 97, 98.
He
He
becomes
just turns.
prime Aroldis Chapman.
Also, since when? Like, I think we mentioned this, but like, I didn't know if I just like did want to believe it. But like, since when does Kikuchi have like perfect English?
Wait, what? That's his translator. He doesn't speak English.
Okay. This
Jay
might need to be searched up.
Avery,
You know the
come
guy
on.
who's on the field.
Yeah.
He did the Jays.
What do you
And
mean
he did
did the
Kikuchi.
Jays?
Is that even? Are you speaking English now? Do you
Okay.
need a translator? What are you talking about? The guy did the
Do
Jays.
you know
what does that mean?
have you seen the guy he's on like Instagram Reels, but you definitely have seen these videos.
Oh,
They ask
yeah, they
questions.
asked
You're
the
talking
worst
about the dugout
questions.
guys.
Yeah.
They
And
asked
when
the
the
weirdest
Jays
questions
were
ever.
in Houston,
They just asked
he
how
did
much
the
they
Jays.
bench press.
Yeah. I swear to God, Kikuchi was there without his translator, and the
No,
English was
I saw the video
phenomenal.
you were talking, and I was going to comment, delete this from the internet now. Because Kikuchi said that, first of all, who would ask in their right mind for a Yusei Kikuchi autograph? Second of all, he said that he signed a sushi chef's knife. That knife just deteriorated in value by a significant fucking margin. Like, could you imagine you see Yusei Kikuchi and that's the first, it's like, sign this. I would say to him, actually, just get the fuck out of the sushi restaurant. Like, leave. You're gonna, like, this plate's gonna burn down. You're such a fucking mush. We're done. Like, he is alarmingly bad. Like, alarmingly bad.
I didn't think he was that horrible on Monday.
You're clouded with your Bo Bichette hate, though, Avery. That's where you're clouded with your Bo, because the Bo Bichette error. But who threw the fucking ball into center field for no reason?
Yeah, true. But I just think it's a whole different start if the game. Sure, it's like kind of short-sighted to say, but I think we get a whole different start from him if we make the first out of the game. Like, I understand, like, he struggles really bad in the first inning as well, because if Vlad makes that play, which he makes a lot, the over shoulder.
No, he's really good at first. He's really good at first.
And then he has a good throw that Bo doesn't pick and like get in front of, and I think it kind of changes everything. And sure, maybe just bad juju. It's just surrounded him. I thought he looked okay.
But I'm listen. I had the same tweet. I said this wasn't on Yusei Kikuchi, and I was in the same boat as you. I was a Kikuchi truther for like a minute, and then I looked at his stat line, and he walked 3 guys, gave up 6 hits, or he gave up 4 hits, and although 6 runs were given, but only 3 were earned, 3 walks in 3 innings is horrid. Like, his whip that game had to be a million. Like, 3.1 innings. How many base runners did we have here? 7 base runners.
I mean, 6 hits. Yeah, they're just 9 to go against a whip right there. This is a whip of like 3 almost.
It's listen, I was on the same boat as you. I was trying to be like the positive Johnny, because I'll be honest with you, the TikTok comments were getting to me like, this guy is like, they were just like, this guy's the most negative piece of shit ever. I was like, all right, fuck, maybe I should like dial it back a little bit. But then I said, fuck you. But it's like, Kikuchi, we can't keep letting this slide. Like, we have been pretty truthful with this podcast of like our Kikuchi hate and stuff like that, but that's a bad start. Like, if anyone, we're just
there's
saying
some bad pitches too. That
pitch he threw middle.
Oh my god!
I genuinely think I could have launched that. I could have hit that out. Like,
that was
pitch
so
he
juicy.
gave up middle. Right when that released his hand, I could tell you if that slow-mo went on his face, he was immediately like, oh no. Like, because it was middle, sent to fucking heaven. That ball was shot on. And that's what he does. He just gives up nukes, and he walks a fuck ton of dudes. A fuck ton.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think if we did do like a blind review of the stat line, took the names out of it, I would tell you that it's a shitty start. But I just don't want to keep like hating on this guy, man. Like, I think he can do some good for us at some point here.
Out of the bullpen. I'm going to say this. I genuinely do think Kikuchi is going to be half decent out of the bullpen. Because one, right? And listen, another plug. I've had other guys, Fish and Official podcast, tell me how different it is out of the bullpen. It's such a different mindset where I think Kikuchi's such a mental midget where he could be like, listen, Yusei, let this mother. You have such a good fastball. Let it eat for 1 inning. You don't have to worry about longevity. You don't have to worry about a lineup seeing you multiple times. Let it eat for 1 fucking inning. Throw the fastball that works for you, located obviously, and just let it eat for an inning. Fuck it. Let it eat. You don't worry about a longevity. You don't have to worry about going 6-7 innings. None of that shit. Let it eat for 1 fucking inning and let's see how it goes. And I genuinely do think he's going to be decent out of the bullpen. I do. But he's not $16 million out of the fucking bullpen.
No one's that.
But he's good out of the bullpen. He's going to be decent out of the bullpen.
He doesn't even throw his best pitch statistically this season. His best pitch is his changeup. He's only thrown 225 of them. He has a batting average against on that pitch of 0.97. But he throws his slider a ton that has a batting average against of 315.
Wow.
So it's like, hey, Pete, let's check some of the numbers here at some point. Like he is so far behind. If you just make him a fastball changeup guy, who knows like what can happen here.
Yeah. You got to think too. You got to think that his fastball, like, what do you think I was trying to figure out what he maxes out at, like what he's maxed
90.
out at.
It has to be 97, 98, right, Dave?
I'll go on pitcher's list here. They'll give me
like if he could throw that with his change, like his changeup would be even more effective.
But you know what?
When you go to the bullpen, you do simplify your pitch selection.
Yeah, because you don't have to throw 5-6 pitches.
Exactly.
There's no bullpen guys. Like for example, I'm pretty sure Corbin Burns is a 2-pitch guy. No, I'm not comparing Yusei to Corbin fucking Burns. But what I'm saying is, if Kikuchi can go 2-pitch sequence, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and his changeup, which is a good pitch, he's going to be decent. Like hitters are going to be off balance, especially if you go from facing Barrios to Kikuchi or Ross Stripling, who throws like not the fastest, to Kikuchi. I think it could work, man. I'm trying to be optimistic. I do think it could work potentially.
I mean, his most recent start, his average fastball was 95 miles an hour.
That can play out of the bullpen.
But that's 97 if you top. A lot of people they'll rein it back a little bit if you know you're starting, right? I wonder what Stripling's differences are. Probably not that crazy, but if he's a 97, 98 guy out of the pen for an inning, we can use that.
Yeah. It's not a crazy thing. It really isn't, man. Like him or Trent Thornton. Like Trent Thornton throws like he's so bad. Whatever. That's just besides the fact he's fucking and he is.
What about Lil Pearson, eh? Maybe he'll come in and save
no.
the day.
No. I'm hearing rumors, and I think Avery sent this to us. Julian Merriweather must be on some sort of ringworm medication. This guy is sitting 98.
Yeah.
Call this motherfucker up now. This guy is on the loose. I mean, they're pretty much tweeting about him like we got fucking Nolan Ryan coming out of the bullpen in AAA Buffalo.
There's a lot of good things being talked about Julian Merriweather that for sure he's going to be shit when he comes back up. They're talking about them that he's going to be awesome, and I believe them. I think he's going to be awesome again. But
you're buying the propaganda?
I'm all in, man. Just give me the cheese. I'm the rat. I'll fucking eat it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll eat it too. 98.
Yeah. Give Shed the cheese. He's the rat.
Yeah, I'll fucking eat it, brother. I don't mind.
So you're all in on the Julian Merriweather?
I'm not in. I just want to see 100. I don't give a fuck who it's from. Zach Pop, I'll let him throw sinkers at 100. I like it. I don't mind.
Listen, Zach Pop. Is it a sinker, Ave? What is it?
Yeah, it's a sinker.
That's a wipeout pitch if I've ever seen one. That thing has made hitters look idiotic.
But he gives up a lot of hits on it, which kind of surprises me too. So I'm gonna look at some.
I might be a pro Zach Pop guy. I might be a Zach Pop truther. I
do like Zach Pop. He throws the second most sinkers in all of baseball, like percentage wise. And he has the 31st average velocity on his sinker. But I think that's just as fastballs. And it gets a zone swing percentage of 42%, not bad. Call strike and whiff rate of 26%, not bad. But it has an expected average of 238. Pretty good. I don't think it's a bad pitch at all.
Okay, so if you guys are John Schneider, are you rolling out that same lineup tomorrow in Yankee Stadium? Where are you guys at with that? Because Chapman leadoff, listen, no. I've had enough of that. Just leading off a game with a 4-pitch strikeout. No. Listen, I'm a Chapman truther. Leave him in the 6 hole, whatever, 5 hole. Please, for the love of God, just keep Springer up there, DH and whatever the fuck you have to do, because Springer clearly hasn't lost a beat at the plate. Because today you can make the argument Springer saved the season. Like, that was fucking elite off the bench.
Yeah, that was good. That little bloop shit over.
Yeah. Just
So
to get off me fast.
but it's crazy. It's like we can't. He's so hurt. He couldn't even play the field. Right? They had to change him out for Jackie Bradley.
He has a pastrami arm. His arm is just in shambles. Like, I genuinely do wonder how he's wearing a bionic arm. Like you mentioned, like what he is wearing on his arm is not normal. Like, that's not a fucking arm sleeve, people. That is a goddamn bionic arm. His arm is fucked.
No, it's a full on brace.
I can't wait to hear, like, at the end of the season, like, George Springer needs Tommy John. He's missing up to July of next year. Like, that's just that's what we can expect.
I honestly think that's close to where we're at with it. It's got to be, right?
And Whit Merrifield is at the plate. He's been tough.
What do you think about moving Kirk, man? Because he's hit shitty. I think he's hitting 222 since the All-Star break.
He showed signs today, though, man.
Today, yeah.
But yeah.
You have to move him. You have to move him down in the order.
Like, Jano's hasn't hit great either.
No,
so I don't know. I'm fine.
He's my guy. He's been struggling, man.
Yeah,
he's been struggling bad.
But I'm fine with at least trying different things. Like, that was like Bo Bichette could be hitting 0, and Charlie Montoya wouldn't have moved him out of the 2 hole. Like, legit no hits all year, but he's like, he's got to be there still.
He's due. He's statistically due.
So at one point today on stream, I did want to be disappointed by the lineup, and it made me want to throw up, but it won. So, like, how mad can I really be about the lineup?
And how good?
Can't be mad.
How good did it feel putting up a crooked number? I can't remember the last time the Jays did it. Like, I'm talking. Listen, the Jays scored 4 and 1, I think, last week or something like that, and stuff like that. But seeing a 5, a 6 spot on a team, hanging up a 6 spot, let's fucking go, dude. We haven't felt that since August 4th. The Jays put up a 9 spot. I think that's when I tweeted it's World Series or bust now. But terrible sequence of events happened after that. But it felt great. Like, you have a little pep in your step. You feel better. It's the greatest thing of all time. It really is. Putting up a crooked number. The Yankees will never feel that again, unfortunately. They're the most pathetic poverty team maybe in baseball. They stink out loud. They should hope tonight's game gets rained out so they can prepare a little more for the Blue Jays. I think it's gonna get rained out anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. Last 30 days, again, I think I did this last episode, but we're into Danny Jansen hitting 152 and Alejandro Kirk hitting 224 the last 30 days. And we have Kirk hitting in the 4 hole for that time. So kind of correlating to not providing offense at the top there, I think.
Yeah.
Love him, though. I do not like seeing him those lazy grounders to shortstop, which feels like he's doing every single time, because we know he has no chance of running them out because he's not a fast guy.
Or even to, like, in the gap and, like, behind second base. It's like he's gonna make this guy's second baseman's gonna pick it up and, like, lob it to first, and it's still gonna be an out.
Yeah, it is a game of runs, though. He's bound to struggle at some point here, but hopefully they can figure it out. We can't just have no production from. Can
we talk about the biggest news of the week?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Moment of silence, 30 seconds. Bradley Zimmer was DFA'd. Not many words. Not many words to go behind it. A guy that clearly, if you look at the Jays' record without him, was a morale guy. A guy that kept the locker room loose. All the boys loved him. Next thing you know, he gets DFA'd, and Jays go 1-2. What was your favorite Bradley Zimmer moment? And I'll say this. I'm happy his last hit with the Blue Jays was a home run on Canada Day, like a month and a half ago. It just makes it. It's just like that's our guy. Like, Bradley Zimmer hits on he's Canadian. He hit a home run on Canada Day. That's our king. What was your guys' favorite Bradley Zimmer moment? Was it a pinch run attempt, maybe a fielding?
I have no favorite Bradley Zimmer moment.
I'm gonna actually one of my favorite. It goes back to the guy who was interviewing guys, and there's actually go search it up, but there's an interview with Bradley Zimmer.
Yeah,
on
I
there.
saw that too. It was on my
And
reels on Insta.
it's quite emotional when he talks about his inspiration, who taught him how to play baseball, was Michael Brantley.
Nice.
And
Same
a guy
hitter.
who hits over 300. They're very similar. So
Same hitter.
If we want to be honest, did you guys not find it weird that Jackie Bradley wasn't the one DFA'd?
no,
Why would Jackie Bradley be DFA?
yeah,
At least
Jackie Bradley's just better Zimmer.
He's just. At least
But
Jackie
he's
Bradley has had
not
a
better
pulse.
defensively, and he's not faster. So I feel like maybe
I think that would have been a massive fuck you to the Red Sox and kind of a power move. The Jays were like, "You're done." Like Springer,
yeah,
you're done, Jackie. But
he definitely
Jackie
has.
provides.
He can
he's
hit.
the only guy on the team with fucking playoff experience besides George Springer, though.
True.
And I guess
Didn't
Ross
think
Stripling.
about that.
I guess Ross Stripling. But Jackie Bradley is going to be a guy you're going to be able to put out in center field late innings in the playoffs. If the Jays make it, and be like, he's not going to crumble under the moment. If there's like a bang play or he has to make a throw somewhere, he's not going to crumble because he's been there before. He's been in the World Series. He's won a World Series. So I don't hate the fact they didn't DFA him. They DFA'd our king, Zimmer, unfortunately. One has to go. It's the business. But Jackie Bradley Jr. is just having that name on the roster kind of adds a little bit of flair to the Toronto Blue Jays, even though he's one of the worst hitters I've ever seen. But besides
Zimmer's worse. Yeah.
Zimmer's worse. What are George Springer's? Abe might know this, but are his back end stats in center bad?
Like DRS and outs above average.
Yeah,
no, he has to be good DRS. He is so good defensively.
That's what I mean. So I mean, I know the elbow thing, and it probably, but even if George Springer was healthy, I'd want him in center field in the ninth. Is it just me?
He's not gonna be healthy.
I know, but back then, people were thinking we'd always do that, but that's not really a known thing. But when George Springer was healthy, we were moving him to right when Zimmer would come to the lineup.
I'm fine. Yeah, that is true. He was.
I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, myself. But that's because his ex center fielder.
Dude,
it's kind of.
Is it crazy to say I kind of miss Zimmer because he's fucking actually really good defensively?
I mean, he's a huge body.
Avery and I looked at his defensive stats, I think, a couple episodes ago, right, Ave?
Yeah.
And his defensive stats are whoa, this guy could be a pretty good pinch runner, pinch fielder, defensive replacement type of guy.
So, George Springer doesn't have good defensive run saves numbers as a Blue Jay.
Really?
-1 last year and -2 defensive run saved after being 7 and 6 the 2 years before. So interesting. Maybe it's a throwing thing, but no, I thought Bradley Zimmer was a really good fielder. So I'll look up his defensive run save too.
Yeah, it's just weird. Obviously you want to keep Jackie Bradley because of the name, but man,
I mean, we need them to hit at this point because George Springer's out so often. So it does make
sense. And Whit
sense.
Merrifield, and listen, Whit Merrifield has been. How does he have more than one hit with the Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, he got 2 hits the first game.
2 hits, 2 hit Whit right away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he started striking out a weird amount, which isn't ideal. Maybe it's the vaccine.
Yeah. Fuck.
And then Bradley Zimmer has 2 defensive run saves this year. So
really,
2.
Yeah. Better fielder.
So Bradley Zimmer is. Can we make the argument he's the best outfielder to ever be DFA'd?
Yep, we could.
Bradley Zimmer is the best. He's the best
Ever
outfielder. He's the best outfielder ever to be DFA'd. And whoa, I mean, Whit Merrifield might have. You know that saying, even when we play golf, when I start out with a par, I'm like, this is terrible because I started off way too hot.
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield started out way too hot with the Jays. We're talking XT, but he went 2 for 5, 2 for 5, 1 for 3. That's a recipe for failure. You can't start off too hot. The end of the expectations are too high. Since then, he is 3 for 23. Yeah, no, he started off too hot, unfortunately, right?
I think so. I think that's what.
Yeah,
happened.
you can't start out too hot. By the way, did you guys happen to see that sink today?
Yeah, I did see that. We're at an en route or something.
No, I was at college campus or university campus dropping off coupons. Dude, I go to the bathroom and I do like a double take. I'm like, is that a 3-in-1 sink? It's like, this is the greatest thing ever invented. Like, if you showed that to Babe Ruth, he would have a seizure. Like, if Babe Ruth saw a 3-in-1 sink where it's like you could do all three at once, that fat fuck would just have a seizure. It's crazy because the middle, you wash your hands, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the left, which is kind of a mix up, usually it should be the right. The left is the soap. And then you go like this, wipe, wipe, wipe. And then the right is the fucking fan. It's the greatest, or the blow dryer. It's the greatest thing ever invented. Have you guys ever encountered a 3-in-1 sink? That's what I'm trying to.
I have not.
No, I've never.
So
seen
wait,
them.
can you explain this sink? Because I saw the video. So the middle is the
So it's
water.
like it's like, how do I describe it? It's like the bottom of a field goal post.
Okay.
All right.
So it's flat.
So yeah. So there's 3 nozzles. There's 3
Okay.
udders. The right is the blow dryer. The center, you put like it's censored, so you put your hand under which one you want. It's the greatest thing ever. It's like I wanted to rip it out of its bearings and take it home. That's what I wanted to do. And then the left is the soap, so you go soap, right, blow dry. It's 3-in-1. It does the job,
Wow.
and you don't want to talk about shout out. I think it's Georgian College Aurelia campus. You guys got that motherfucker locked down. There is no chlamydia circling around that. There is no COVID circling around Georgian College Aurelia campus because they got that washroom on lock. And then you walk in and there is just a shit ton of like condoms just right there. It's like,
Hell yeah.
whoa, like this is incredible. There's no children and there's just fucking 3-in-1 sinks. I think I should have went to Georgians. What I'm trying to say. I think I'm recruiting the listeners because a lot of our listeners are close to going into college. I would take a little look at Georgian College Aurelia. That's what I'm trying to say. Take a visit, go to the 3-in-1 sink, send a video to us if you at the 3-in-1 sink, and yeah, let us know what you guys think. But it's the greatest invention ever. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Do you know that? You know that Babe Ruth killed his wife?
What?
Yeah.
That might be not true.
Don't get Abe going on this.
It's true. Jared knows it's true.
Babe Ruth did not kill his wife.
Yes, he did. He burned her house down and she was inside of it.
How do you know he burnt her house?
Because they were fighting. He had this new girl, and once she died, within a week, he was married to this new girl, like right away. And her brother said there's some risky business going on because Babe Ruth was a volunteer for the fucking New York police department. No one investigated. He just gets away with murder, by the way. So anytime people want to talk about Babe Ruth, just know he killed his fucking wife.
Okay. So have we turned into, do you guys know that like TikTok channel where it's like these guys that come up with these out of fucking absurd out to lunch takes, like why a song is called this, why a song is called that, or shit like that? Do you guys know? So we just turned into that because Avery is out here just throwing accusations that are outlandish out of the window that Babe Ruth is a fucking murderer.
I made a full TikTok. I'll post it on the account tomorrow on Babe Ruth murdering his wife.
So Babe Ruth is a piece of shit.
We knew that though. He was a Yankee.
Yeah, he was the worst. But
have you guys locked into that Manti Te'o doc on Netflix yet?
No, I'm gonna watch it tonight. Is it good?
It's fucked, man. I feel so bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him.
No, you will feel bad for, like, trust me, you'll feel bad for
no
him.
Spoilers, but why would I feel bad though? Like, is there like
so
a certain...
right away it was like
I don't feel bad though.
This person who was talking as his girlfriend now identifies as a transgender woman and just was like finding herself or him, sorry, I don't fucking know, but
use proper pronouns.
Finding themselves was just like being on Facebook and like pretending to lead guys on and then
no. Okay, I don't feel bad.
You're giving
for
too
him.
much here.
No, but
like JR, is it crazy to say you don't feel bad for you don't?
You have to watch. You won't. I thought the same thing.
Really okay, I understand. I'd have to go. It's been a while since that story fucking broke about the fake girlfriend, but like Well, I guess I'd be spoiling if I was asking this, Dave. But like, so you're saying that the story was
I mean, it's a
this
news
was
story.
a
It doesn't need to
person
be
fucking with
spoiled.
him?
Yeah. So they played like high school sports together, I think. And
Oh,
at
so he knew the person.
So she was real.
No, but it's a guy who at the time who would pretend to
So
be
why
a
were they
girl.
saying it was fake?
Because there was never a girl. They never existed.
Okay,
Wow,
but what I'm
that's an
saying is
absurd.
the fact
Wow.
that this is why, and listen to the
It's
kids
not
here.
fake.
The kids here that are listening, all right? If you are talking to a girl via social media and one, you've never seen her, or two, she just refuses to send you pictures, or the picture she sends you looks weird as fuck, or she refuses to FaceTime you, that's on fucking you. That is on you, dude. Like, so you're telling me this guy had a girlfriend he would never FaceTime even though he never saw her in person? That is 100% on it. Like, hey, you want to FaceTime? No, I can't. That's not fishy.
So
Come
at
on,
one
bro. This is the same guy that clicks
Yeah.
the fucking emails from the African princes. Oh, I have $1 million. Do you want $1 million? Click this. And then the PS5 giveaways on Twitter.
So
That's Manny Teo. I don't feel bad for him. I don't.
one you'll watch it and you'll feel differently. That's fine. I understand. I came from the same area, but at one
The
point
doc got you. The doc got you.
yeah, this guy,
propaganda worked.
this guy, girl, or whatever they are, at one point had just like when they would try to meet up with her, she would just like cut it off. So she would pretend like different voices on the phone and just said that his girlfriend died to him, told him that she was dead the same day that his like actual grandmother died. And he just
That's
like,
fuck. Okay, that I feel bad for.
like made a
That
whole
I feel
story of
bad
it.
for.
And then at one point he was playing USC later that year, and the guy who was like catfishing Manti Teo comes up and like meets him after the game and like says hi to him, whatever, with like one of the kids that he would talk to all the time on the
Was
phone.
he shocked?
He doesn't know yet, but you will feel bad. You watch, it's a must.
So he
watch.
knows now, though, right? Like he knows it was.
He's
the
in the
guy now.
documentary. Like he is full on a part of it.
I
Good
can't
for
wait
him,
to
though,
watch
for
this
making
and
a
like
little quick
immediately.
buck, eh?
I can't wait to watch this and immediately like comment on the Instagram like, digress what I said. Like,
Yeah.
You need to give like a.
I mean, it's a
like,
300-pound transgender woman who was leading him on.
Poor Manti. But listen here. Another thing, Avery and I, we know what it's like. You go to school in the U.S. If you are playing on the University of Notre Dame football team and you can't fuck at the University of Notre Dame, you deserve to be catfished. You deserve to be. If you have to pull a girl online off of fucking RuneScape, you deserve to be catfish. You're shooting
He also
dynamite in the
wasn't just a
fucking
player. This guy was fucking.
He was
High
the
school
star of the
highly
team.
touted players coming in.
Yeah, he was a two-time Heisman finalist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this guy can't wheel broads at his.
But
It
he was
is-
like,
it
he
is
was
a
with her.
little-
He talked to her like for 4 years, dude. Like it gets
then
out of
I
control.
feel less bad. I
Just
feel
wait.
less bad.
Just wait.
I don't get how, like, did they know each other from high school?
Well,
How did he never see her and still dated her for 4 years?
well,
dude?
because she was in California and he was in South Bend, Indiana.
How the fuck did they meet?
He always
No,
tried
no,
to
no,
see her.
that's-
Yeah. Okay, this
I'm
is gonna
talking
end here.
fucking FaceTime. What? She had a Samsung Galaxy
She
no
said the camera
Snapchat?
was broken every time.
No.
for 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
This is ridiculous, Abe.
Going back to the Manny Tate, whatever the fuck his name is. Let's take a step back, Avery. You didn't watch the documentary, all right? You are talking because obviously you wheel girls from fucking PEI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, whatever the fuck you do. I don't know what you're doing. If
Yeah,
you are talking to a girl,
you meet them first. You know.
I understand that.
Okay.
Again, that's what a logical human being does.
Yes.
That's not what Manny Teo does. How do you get catfished for 4 years? Think about where you were at 4 years ago, okay? 4 years ago, you were just selling pumpkins, JR, at fucking your school.
Was.
Could you imagine a 4-year time period, which is, I think, like, what is that, like 20% of my life? 4 years, you get catfished. That doesn't make sense. Never seeing her face and hearing her mouth actually fucking talk. No, I don't feel bad for that. That's just not having a brain, dude. What do you mean?
It's Love is Blind in reality.
That's
wild.
a crazy show, by the way. That show is.
But they actually see each other. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I actually do see
You
each
know?
other. Have you guys watched? Speaking about Netflix, this is just going to turn the middle of the show onto the Netflix because the Jays have been so bad that this is what we got to talk about. Have you guys seen the Netflix documentary of the guy that had that revenge porn site.
I started watching.
It is the most fucked documentary I have, and makes zero sense how it was legal. You don't talk about JR?
No, I saw the Tinder swindler.
That was a good one.
Okay, I didn't
too.
see that.
That's a good one. Eh?
Yeah, it was a good one.
The one you're talking about, I have no clue. I don't like.
You should watch it too.
I don't usually
He
watch docs.
ran like a revenge porn website.
But he wouldn't, and I'm not going to ruin it, but he would post no, but the thing is, so listen, it's one thing to post the revenge porn shit, right?
It's illegal.
Whatever. It's illegal. It's legal. He would post the people's social media, their name, and a picture of like their Facebook where they live and shit. He would post all of it beside their nude. Like, it was wild how we had access to all this shit. And it would just, this guy was the biggest piece of shit human. Like, people would be like, please take that down. Like, I lost my job. My family doesn't talk to me. My dad hates me. Like, I got kicked out of the house. And he would just laugh right in their fucking face and just never delete the shit. It was wild.
I saw Dave Portnoy tweeting about it, saying he's like probably the worst human to ever live.
And he's on TikTok now, this guy. Hunter
No
Moore.
way.
Yeah. It's
God.
wild. I went through the rabbit hole. He did a podcast a couple weeks ago. I watched it. No accountability at all whatsoever. He went to jail. But yeah.
Did he go to jail at some point?
9 months. That's it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's wild. But let's get back into the Blue Jay talk here, boys. We got to talk about the series. Before we'll go into the series this week, I wanted to touch on something again in the Blue Jay series. I'm starting to jump off the train that it was Charlie Montoyo's fault.
Stop.
Listen, I hated Charlie Montoyo. This team isn't constructed to be like the pitching wise isn't constructed to be a very good baseball team. The fact that Ben Verlander had them go into the World Series should just have his shit revoked for even saying that on live television. But Charlie Montoyo, actually, never mind. Fuck Charlie Montoyo.
See, I'm almost in the same spot as you, but I don't think if we gave him a good team, it would have mattered. Like, I don't.
He's not the right guy to win a World Series. That was why we got rid of him.
Yeah, you're right.
Because,
I digress.
Like,
fuck
it
you,
didn't,
Charlie Montoyo.
the team isn't there, but like he also just wasn't. If we had the nastiest team alive, I wouldn't want Charlie Montoyo.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck Charlie Montoyo.
He could have been fine with like the Astros. The Astros rip on Dusty Baker like it is no one's fucking business.
Like, imagine ripping your manager a new asshole when you are first place by a legitimate landslide. Like, you are first.
It's what is it? It's like got to be like 4 or 5 games at this point now. They're in first 5, but they hate his lineup construction and playing Chas McCormick as much as he does. I don't know how I got on to Astros Twitter, but
you're an Astros Twitter guy now, man.
Well, sometimes I'll just click on a beat writer, and then you know how it shows you like
you go down the rabbit hole,
like from accounts, and it'll just kind of show up on my feed all the time, and it's just people ripping Dusty Baker. And I feel bad because he seems like an awesome dude, but they don't like him at all.
And listen. The Ross Atkins talk has to continue because, listen, the Jays management was cheap as fuck, okay, and they didn't want to sign Alex Anthopoulos. That was a messy breakup. And look at what Alex Anthopoulos is doing in Atlanta. God. He just finessed the bag again. A guy that's a potential rookie of the year, top 2, obviously. Strider, I think, is going to win it, biased by me. Michael Harris to a 7-year contract. For what, $79 million? It's the biggest fleece job. And listen to this. They have Acuna, Albies, Austin Riley, and Michael Harris for $419 million combined. That's what you get a superstar for.
Yeah,
and
look at
4 of them.
Contract. I
mean, Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna are 2 of the most underplayed players in all of baseball.
Yeah.
It's like they held them at gunpoint and made them fucking sign their contract, and they made no sense. But it's a masterclass, and he calls up players from AA, Vaughn Grissom and like Michael Harris.
Vaughn Grissom's so good. Oh my god, he's so good. But could you imagine?
Did you see who he called up yesterday? his king,
They're-
Ryan Goins, has been called up to the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. I
No
heard, yeah.
way.
Ryan Goins, but
He still
Yeah.
plays.
It
yeah, he
surprised
still
me
plays.
too.
He's
Still
triple
ball?
A, living the dream. He actually, funny story about Ryan Goins. So my a really good buddy of mine, I'm going to his wedding in December. Nolan Kingham played for the Gwinnett Stripers, and
Yep.
Ryan Goins was there. He told me Ryan Goins is the best locker room guy of all time. Like
Nice.
they go out to the bar, Ryan Goins pays for everything. No, not even second guess. Just throws his card on the table. They go to dinner, he pays for everything. If the boys have a shitty meal in AAA,
He's got
he
money
just-
like that.
Yeah.
He just
How does he
soaks
have
it.
money like that?
I don't know if he has money like that, but he's just such a good locker room dude. He's getting paid $1 million to be in the minors.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
so-
hell yeah.
Like he
I guess
understands,
probably had
like
a decent
he has
contract
feel. He has
when he was with
feel
the
like
Jays.
that these people that are like struggling in the minors, he's the best guy of all time. But to give people a perspective, all right, listen, Bo Bichette has not, as much as we haven't talked shit about Bo Bichette, he has what, 3 years left, Avery, something like that.
Not sure.
What Alex Anthopoulos did is he signed guys like Vlady, who's up for contract soon, for 7 more years. Bo Bichette for 7 more years, and all these young guys that are like, oh man, these guys are going to get paid a lot down the road. But another aspect of it is he's doing it to avoid arbitration and not have a bad bridge between the player and the owner. He's signing them until like a couple years after they'd be up for arbitration or their rookie contract would be done. So he's just holding on to them and kind of putting a bridge there to keep the relationships good between both. So Alex
Because
Anthopoulos
Bo already
genius.
freaked out about his deal, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
Start of the season.
If Alex Anthopoulos is still here, do you think that Bo Bichette has a 7-year deal like that?
Yeah.
Like a bridge kind of contract where it's like keep
You're
the
going to be here
relationship good?
for your prime. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, and you're
crazy
gonna
what he did. And you said the Albies one's crazy, JR. The Acuna one's more crazy. Acuna is like a $350 million guy.
That's what
$400
they
million
do,
guy.
right? Like they take the risk because if it works out, then it's like a huge advantage, right? Like Tatis was like they signed him for a lot, but it was early, obviously. But now it's fucking killing them. But
You also got to kind
but
of
then
remember.
again, right? Like the problem was with these contracts, it's a little risky. Like Acuna, for example, like that injury, right?
Yeah.
Like
And-
who knows if he would have been like that could have been like a career-defining injury.
But $17 million for Acuna in his
Yeah, it's
25,
fucked.
26, 27 year prime? Are you kidding?
It's because these guys get nothing, and then when they get a big contract, they sign it, right?
I was about to say the same thing. It's kind of like where you come from too. Tatis
Mhm.
definitely had money growing up. His dad was in the big leagues, and then who knows what Albies and Acuna do growing up. It's like that's generational like money for people like that who come from nothing.
Yeah,
So-
That's like
true. But
that's like if we locked up when Vlad had the bad year, AA would have locked him up, bang, right that, and get a discount,
yeah,
right?
Double A
And
is
then
the
the year
goat. I
after,
love Double
he would have
A.
looked like a genius when
I love
Vlad went
Double A.
off.
And by the way, like, listen, Jays fans, close your ears. Ronald Acuna Jr. makes $1 million less than Yusei Kikuchi. Sorry, I had to say it.
I
had
had
to
to do the
say it.
tweet too. It was low hanging fruit. I had to do it after he had a shitty start.
Yeah, $1 million less. But yeah, it's and by the way, boys, like we got to give our flowers to Vlady. He's been a spark plug for this team. He's been the only guy on this team that's shown like a pulse. When the Jays lost with Alek Manoah start, what does Vlady do in the first inning? 2-run fucking 120-mile-an-hour nuke to left field. And then he hits a nuke the day before, and I'm like, whoa, like these guys, like this team is back. Obviously, they weren't. But Vladdy's been the guy that's like the old reliable. Like I said with Ross Stripling, that 3 a.m. girl you call after a night at Seeps or whatever in London, and
Hell yeah.
you give him a ring, and he's gonna be there at the doorstep. Uber, he's gonna pay for the Uber himself, and that's what he's gonna do. He's not gonna ask for a split fare. He's just gonna do it. And it is crazy to me that there are still Vladdy haters like in the comment sections, and they're like, if Vlady doesn't fucking swing a sword because he ground into a double play one time, it's like, dude, Vlady has been, during this stretch of the Jays being terrible, Vlady has been the only, dare I say, positive thing with this team. Like, let's look at his last 15. 286, like
Yeah.
286 is last 15, which is the last 15 is, you can argue that's when the Jays have been struggling. 286, 4 home runs and 63 at-bats. Like, That's all you can ask for from a guy like Vlady, man. I mean, and by the way, MajorLeagueBaseball.com has his nickname as LK. What the fuck is that? Can we talk about that? Is that his nickname?
I don't know.
Has anyone
know
heard of
that.
Vlady being called LK? That's not a thing, right? You don't make a nickname for a guy with a nickname. His nickname is Vlady. It's not LK.
Yeah, no,
The
that's
fuck is LK?
if you go on
MLB.com?
Baseball Reference, they have
Is it
some of
thing?
the worst nicknames of all time.
Okay, what the fuck does that stand for?
It's his nickname is, first of all, I don't know what that means. ELK. Should we search what that means? I thought it'd be like at least Placata or some shit, you know?
Yeah,
Just a shit ton of like elks show up on. So yeah, there's just no way we could search what that means because it's just.
I
the
think a
word
guy
elk.
who was kind of underrated this series was Santiago Espinal. Probably not underrated, but he was a nice little spark plug. I did say it was nice for him to show a little heart by bunting for a hit yesterday, and then the nice little double in the gap today to kind of seal it. So maybe he's trying to fucking win his job
And
back.
I'm gonna back that up with you, Avery. That's a great take. So Santiago Espinal in the last 7 games, which is I believe what this homestand was, right? 7 games, 6 games, 10 for 23, 2 RBIs, only 3 strikeouts, 435 average, 435 OBP, 478 slugging. Wow. So Santiago Espinal, although still in my opinion he shouldn't have been an all-star, has been nothing but like a bright spot in the bottom of the lineup. Who it seemed like this whole homestand was just this whole bottom of the lineup was just automatic out. This whole homestand, Espinal was the only guy like getting on base. So yeah, you got to give your flowers to Espinal. He's been awesome, especially this last like week or so, right?
I mean, if we have to run with guys who are going to be hot in the bottom of the lineup, I don't mind that. So let him have his run here. This, how big do you think this series is?
Biggest of the year.
Really? You think so?
It's well, hear me out, right? JR's fucking giggly bits over here. Hear me out. This is the biggest season of the year because one, all right. I think the Yankees game's not going to get played tonight, right? So that's 7 innings.
What do you? Oh, they were playing
It's
through
7
the 6th.
innings. Yeah, it's a loss. It's marked as a loss after 5 innings.
Yeah.
So it's a loss on the Yankees.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, dude.
So the Jays are going to be playing the Yankees. Obviously, a lot of games back here, but there are so many teams on their ass. This is a massive opportunity to gain ground against a AL East opponent and show the AL East. Listen, we had a tough stretch here. All right, we were cat shit for a week and a bit, probably longer than a week. Now we're gonna put our balls on the table and we're gonna fucking beat the Yankees in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Barrios is gonna bounce back. Everyone's gonna bounce back. This offense is gonna show up. And why not beat on the team that's already down? Yankees have been absolutely nothing short of horrendous. The worst team in the AL East since the All-Star break. This is a massive series, boys. I genuinely do think this. I beating the Yankees in Yankee Stadium would put a fucking stamp of approval for the Gate 14 boys. Like, this team's fucking back. This team is all the way back.
What the Garrett Cole versus Mitch White game feels a little one-sided.
Oh, fuck. I totally forgot about that. Fuck.
But other than that, I think we're in a decent spot here.
Mitch White, he's about to grab his balls and have a hell of a start.
Can we say that if Mitch White beats Garrett Cole, JR is going to buy a Mitch White jersey?
If he records the win.
Okay, fine. Is that handshake?
Can you even buy a Mitch White jersey on the internet?
Yeah, you can get a fucking Mitch White jersey. I don't care if it's from DH.
Okay.
Just make sure you get a Mitch White.
DH. Handshake. If he
All right,
records
so
the win, he has to
This
record
is
the win.
now I'm fired up for Saturday. If Mitch White, and by the way,
I'll do it too.
you know what? I'll do it. We'll do a 3-way order of a Mitch White.
We'll get
on
every
DH.
uniform that the Jays have, and we'll.
I call the baby blue. Actually, no, the baby blue on DHgate shit. I call the white. I call the white Mitch White jersey.
All right, whatever
If
you
Mitch
want.
White beats Garrett Cole, by the way, the amount of Twitter memes and roasts that is
Mega
going to
Meat
happen
Mitch. Yeah.
is Mega Meat Mitch will be the greatest thing that's ever walked the planet. He would be build a statue. If Mega Meat Mitch beats Garrett Cole, the $300 million man, in Yankee Stadium, that will be my favorite moment of the year. It will be. It'll be my favorite moment of the year. Garrett Cole losing to Mitch White.
The The Vlady 3-homer game seems forever ago, but that's got to be one of my favorite moments
Oh,
of
I
the
totally
year.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But what would be
That,
like a funny meme?
that felt like that team was so fucking good. Our team.
Yeah.
Oh, that team was a wagon. That team,
Our team is poverty.
that team was a wagon.
Oh
Like
my
that.
God.
I just remember that Vlady 3-home run game and like the infamous JR clip. The Yankees can't hit, man. You know like, what I'm talking about. And by the way, JR, you could start dancing on some graves here. Like we got old takes exposed on TikTok a pretty significant amount by that take. Now you can start dancing. Do your dance, King. Do your dance because they seriously can't hit.
And you know what? Someone said it like their total won't hit potentially. Like they have to actually go like over 500 for that thing to hit. Like remember we were talking like it was an absolute walk in the park.
Oh yeah,
like,
they were talking. Oh my God, like 107 wins, 110 wins. They got to play. I think it is 28 and 18 baseball. 28 and 18 baseball to hit 100 wins. 28 and 18 is crazy. That is a really good win percentage, and especially against the who they're playing coming up. That's not a gimme.
Nope.
So hashtag pray for the Yankees. Hug a Yankee fan tonight because
JR expert.
I'm going to say this: they're not going to win 100 games this year.
That'd be awesome. Like 98. I got something to say about the podcast charts, by the way. We're gonna fucking be number one here, end of the year.
You think so?
Yeah, because come playoff time, if they're picking us, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so shout out to the fucking people listening to this thing.
Yeah, shout out, man. You guys are coming.
Master Gator Nation, stand up. Because we didn't do this. All we do is just talk on a mic. Yes, Avery does the YouTube, the sound. I do the TikTok, and JR does the merch. But we're not the ones that are listening and investing their fucking time into this podcast. Like, listen, I'm not going to tell you how many downloads we got, people. Obviously, we want the number's high. I will say that. Number 3 on the charts in all of Canada, dude. Like, you did that. Like, I'll never not be grateful for that. It's crazy to like look at that and realize you don't realize how much advertisement dollars gets put into behind the letters. You know, like how much like Avery said, they mention it before every Jays game. They mention the behind the letters. They do the advertising to millions of people. And to think the little fucking Gate 14 boys, the little engine that could
right on their fucking ass,
just dog walks those little motherfuckers. And by the way, Mike Wilner, how's the fucking 11 spot, bozo? 8 spots ahead of you, you fucking bum. We have like, I think I got to make that shirt. I am blocked by Mike Wilner.
I think we should do a different one that's just Wilner for prison. I'll do the mock-ups for you. Because the amount it is kind of bad that now it's just every person tweets at us like I was just blocked by Mike Wilner, and one of them was flagged for sensitive content today. I had to go onto my own account.
I don't know what he said. And listen, Mike,
he didn't. He just showed a picture of Mike Wilner blocking him. I checked it, so it was fine.
You know, it was good times, guys. We've come a long way, but the sweaters, the first sample run. Yesterday, I opened my closet and I forgot I have that sweater. And I was
that sweater's gonna get etched in history forever. Like that's gonna be
put it in Cooperstown.
I'm gonna give it to a 10-year-old because it really doesn't fit me.
That
son when he turns 10.
Whenever the Blue Jays have some like when this podcast continues to grow and we're just consistently over Blair and Barker, that hoodie is gonna sell at an auction for $20,000. that hoodie's gonna sell at an auction for $20,000.
It's gonna sell to a guy on the Jays. One of the players you're gonna buy.
They're gonna be like, listen, Bill Gates bought Gate 14 original hoodie. And by the way, for the hoodies, I'm gonna make the last day Friday. So I want to tweet it. Like I'm gonna do an announcement tomorrow. Because we want to like listen for the people. We haven't ordered your hoodies yet. We do the prepay and stuff, and then we're gonna order it mass. Because I don't want you guys spending more money on it for a smaller number of orders. So we are going to order it. I just want to say thank you to everyone that bought it and stuff like that, but you do have until Friday. But
gate14.ca, we have a URL.
Gate14.ca, gate14.ca, but the Wilner for prison shirt, like we could just make that off Vistaprint. Like that is,
I think it would actually do like well because like
we're going to be blackballed by so many people in Blue Jays media.
That's true though. All those
I think
no one likes Wilner. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, I think
kind of like
that
the Steve Simmons fucking
Oh, Steve Simmons is
Like
the worst.
I like the Ben Nicholson Smiths, the Arden Zwelling. I think those are we should try and do something with those guys. I think they're good, smart guys.
Yeah,
But
no, for sure.
Wilner should prison.
One of the Jays writers would come on. I forget his name, but he would come on. He has like
I forgot to tell you guys this. I got a confirmation out of Jays game from Jamie Campbell to come on the show.
Fucking right.
I was like, you know what's crazy is like he recognized the name. He's like, I think I've heard of that. But like I was like, I'm with Gate 14. I don't know if he recognized it. I don't know if he has kids or something like that. Maybe his kids mentioned it to him or something from TikTok or whatever.
Maybe it's a thing on Sportsnet, man. They're like, fuck, man.
Do you think they're like in the boardroom? They just have us on a fucking dartboard. Like, we got to figure out how to get down these motherfuckers who talk about fake girlfriends. On
Wilner's fucking punching the wall.
Milner's like, those
they can't keep getting away with it.
Milner's like refreshing his Apple podcast chart feed. Like, these motherfuckers are still at 3.
Yeah.
They're like, how do we mimic this? How do I be less of a fucking nerd and mimic this?
I really want to I need to make it, but like I'll try. It's gonna take a lot of time, but that Hitler scene where like people like we need to make one. It'll be fucking hilarious. Like it should be like Wilner finding out that we hit 3 on the
I think you have to come in more subtle with it instead of fucking Hitler. I say you just do like
no. It used to be memed a lot
from a movie.
Yeah,
and it's like a meme clip.
Oh, I've seen that.
I've seen
that with the Jays.
I mean, it's like 10-year-old thing that people used to do on YouTube.
I think it would be funny because you could like be like, Mike would be like, obviously Mike would be like the Rain, and he'd be like, where are those guys on the charts? And like his staff sergeant would be like, 3, sir.
They started off. They're like, he would be like, who listens to Gate 14 here? And then like everyone would raise their hand and be like, get out. That's how it starts. Like,
no, it would be like Austin Powers scene when Dr. Evil just has that button, sends guys into the fucking Shark Tank after they're just like, he's like, what do you do with Will Ferrell? It's like, who listens to Gate 14? Hand raised, immediate button press, launched into the fucking flames. Like, Mike Wilner is just pounding at this. Like, how many interviews do I have to do with Ross Stripling to pass these guys? Like,
how does he get them every time?
Because Ross Stripling used to do that podcast. Actually, fun fact, I had Ross Stripling on the Fish and Official podcast for 25 minutes. He loved me, but he was just his co-host. By the way, his co-host, the biggest piece of shit, like thought he was big time, like start on third base guy of all time, just the cockiest human being of all time on the pod. So maybe give it a listen if you're listening to this.
I've seen some clips from that one.
But he was just the cock piece of shit of all time. His co-host Ross loved me. He's like, I wish we had more time, but like my co-host here, Coop, said we only had 25 minutes. Like I had to have to go. I was like, what the fuck? It was like 25 minutes. Like, that's his co-host. But yeah, it was just wild. Let's go into the preview here. So obviously the Yankees' downfall is just as beautiful, as graceful. They're about to get swept by the Rays at home after losing a series to the Red Sox at Fenway. It's just like chef's kiss. The Yankees are dead. They're poverty. Everything's right in the world. Like fans want Aaron Boone fired. It's Aaron Hicks doesn't know how to catch pop fly. I don't know if you guys saw that in center field. He did like, I wish they had like some sort of fucking stat cast of like his line to the ball and the catch probability because he did like 1,000 fucking turns. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. So Yankees are in the mud. The Jays not back, but they're I mean the bats are after today. If they keep going, like you can say they're decent or decently hot. But let's fucking go, boys. Like let's win a series here. Can I say is a split a win in this series?
Yeah.
I'll ask you guys that first.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think it's. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna predict a split.
I was gonna predict a split too.
Uh-oh. JR is.
I'm going 3-1.
Nice.
Wow. Mm-hmm. If the Jays win 3-1,
Yankees have been so bad, dude.
They can't.
I mean, the Jays
seriously can't hit. No, like, the Yankees. Like we say, the Jays' offense has been bad when they're putting up 3-4 runs. The Yankees don't even put 3 runs up. Like, look at their last couple games. Like they've just been losing 1-0,
3-1, 4-0, 3-0, 1.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like maybe we gotta fucking pump the brakes on the Jays' offense, even though like obviously don't do that. But like the Yankees' offense has been nothing short of poverty. They are they're in shambles right now, folks. They really are, and I love it. So
It makes me really happy, to be honest.
it does make me happy just seeing like, you know what's crazy? After every Yankee game, Josh Donaldson's trending, and it's just a fuck ton of Yankee fans just roasting this dude. And Joey Gallo's just buzzing with the Dodgers. I think he had another home run. And the Yankees are 1-11 since trading Gallo. So was Gallo the locker room guy? Some are saying, right?
They do show a lot of videos of the Dodgers locker room, and he seems to be just a great guy. And he's got his beard back. He's a good-looking guy, man.
Yeah, not a 1960 rule.
That is the dumbest rule of all time. Lou Lamoriello doing that in hockey too. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like we're not in the 1930s with Yankee players murdering wives. Like
it happened, man. I
believe
did the
you.
research.
I believe you. I'm looking forward to seeing the evidence, obviously. And
I'll send you the TikTok. It's the first ever Skipper's TikTok video. Maybe 200 people watched it. Maybe I think less actually, but I got in the lab. It's fucking real.
Yeah, it is real. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-2. I'm gonna say the Jays win the Mitch White start and the second game. I say they lose because the Yankees are due for a win. All right.
They can. I'm gonna say that.
I'm gonna say the
fuck
Jays
the Yankees, man.
Yeah, seriously, fuck the Yankees. I'm gonna say Jays win the second and third game. Fuck it. I'm changing my course. Avery, fuck you, Mr. Non-Optimistic 2-2.
Yeah.
Jays win the series 3-1.
Yeah.
Jays win the series 3-1. They lose tomorrow, win Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or actually, fuck it.
Yes.
No. They win tomorrow. They win Friday. They win Saturday. And they go into fucking Fenway next week and with their balls hanging like, welcome to hell.
I like
welcome
that.
to fucking hell. Welcome to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Jays 3-1. They win the first three, lose the last. Lose the finale at on Sunday with Gossman on the mound. Unfortunately, it's terrible.
Gosman's throwing Friday.
Oh, he's throwing Friday? Who throws Sunday then?
I think Manoah would throw.
Oh,
we got good rotation for this.
Okay. Jays, the rotation's there. The rotation's is prime. So yeah, let's fucking go. I'm gonna say 3-1. Fuck the Yankees. Fuck Aaron Boone, who is maybe the most wanted man in New York right now. Everyone just wants to fire him like he's Aaron Hicks playing center field. Yeah. Yankees are in poverty again, and Nestor Cortez hasn't been that great either. I hope we see him, right? Do we see him on Sunday?
Nasty Nestor.
Do we see him Sunday?
I think so.
My phone's dead, so I don't know.
So. We should.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yankees are in the mud. I'm happy. The podcast is like buzzing. The TikTok is on the listen. Mud Boy has matured and grown at a substantial amount because although 98% of the TikTok comments in that rant video agreed with me, the 2% really fucking got to me. I will say that. I came close to stitching shit. And when I respond to comments,
you should. It'd be good for our page, man. You should stitch so. Feel free, man.
Or you mean comment it? Or
making the video on a comment.
Making
right?
a video instead of commenting it.
I will. Listen, I will. It's too late now, obviously, but also we have to talk about that weird stitch I sent in the group earlier today.
That was awesome.
What was that? And for the people listening, it was my rant, and it was this like older Asian gentleman, like nodding his head seductively, but was he biting his lip at one point?
He was agreeing. He did so
everything.
Happy. He was agreeing.
I think I'm just happy his right hand wasn't shown because there might have been some strokes in there I didn't see. But he was.
He gave a chest tap at one point.
Yeah.
Did he blow? No, he blew a kiss. Look at the video. Avery, pull up the video. He blew a kiss in the video. He went
it's
like
the
this,
worst video I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did. He did he did.
It was. I'm not gonna expose this guy because the Gate 14 listeners are gonna try to find this video.
I'll tell them who sent it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they can search it up. Like you can find an account that people.
Gussie Ya is what.
They're not finding that.
Oh.
His head was tilted, biting his lip. Like for the podcast listeners that are
go watch the video, guys. Just go check it out.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if he agrees. It's like Christopher Columbus is gonna have to it might take who Shakespeare to be not Shakespeare's not that smart. Sir Isaac Newton couldn't figure out what the fuck the message from that guy was on that video.
Dave,
I
how's
have
his
no idea.
video doing?
He got 11 likes. Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
It is wild.
I
10K Johnny is
also
what I
found
will be
out,
referred to.
Vlad's nickname, eh? Like why it's LK? It's actually a thing.
What is it?
So he was ambassador for Players Weekend, and he chose that LK because it was the first nickname he had. Like many babies, Guerrero used sounds before he formed words. That's what it says.
So this is his baby name.
That's the worst nickname I've ever heard.
So I guess he was making sounds, and his first sound he's ever made was LK.
So he said LK, and Vlady Sr., who by the way was a multi-bazillionaire at the time, was like, "That's the nickname, LK." What the fuck, Vlady? I'm actually happy you found that out. Like, I'm gonna make a clip for that, and it's gonna be like 36 minutes in between. I'm gonna have to like cut like 36 minutes to find where the actual meaning of that was. But yeah, 10K Johnny is what I should be referred to now. All the videos to over 10K views. Hashtag thank you,
That's
Johnny.
absurd, man.
We're zeroing in on 10K. We are. We're
Remember before the year,
away.
you thought we were gonna be like 1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I remember when I was like 1,500 was a lot. I was like, I would have slapped myself in the face back in the day.
I'm pretty sure you said like 500 was a lot too.
Yeah, the boys are buzzing. But Master Gators, let's run this fucking thing up to one. Let's get the
one.
I will say this for listeners: don't be discouraged if we don't get to one, because Blair and Barker record every single fucking day.
Yes.
So it's more volume.
Volume's off the charts.
We can beat them though, Johnny. We can beat them.
We do.
Tell your sister, tell your dad, tell your uncle, I actually don't recommend telling this to grandparents because they would just be like, "What the fuck is this?" Get Grandpa. All the boys in the school to listen. Get everyone in your camp or whatever.
Get the principal.
Go to a local bar. Put it on the fucking speaker at the bar and get everyone bumping this. But what a run we've had, boys, and we're not done yet. The trajectory's up. The Toronto Blue Jays trajectory's up. Boys are buzzing here. And,
watch the Manti Te'o doc and DM me your thoughts. I would like to have a chat about it.
I can genuinely say this with all due respect. I can't see myself liking that, but I want to watch it with an open mind. And if I don't think he's the biggest pussy of all time, then success. So
yep.
Let's have a great weekend, everyone. And by the way, Jays fans, let's go in on Yankees fans this weekend, huh? Let's have an old-fashioned fucking Twitter war with Yankee fans. Why not? If the Jays win, of course. If they don't, just go silent. If the Jays don't win, just go silent and don't block people, but just ignore everything that's tweeted at us. But if they do, get the memes ready. Zach Sutton, by the way, our guy, the memes are just unbelievable. That's what started the Cleveland. That's what started the Cleveland Guardians. Should the episode graphic be that picture he sent us of us four on the horse?
Yeah, that'd be electric.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be it. But love you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Gate 14 to the motherfucking moon. Keep running the numbers up. Keep telling everyone about it. We're not done yet. Not satisfied. Hashtag not satisfied. Kobe Bryant, Johnny Junta.